Hey, what's going on, guys? Roniboney here. Thank you for stopping by for Halo Talk Episode 6 with Weapons Grade. What's up, man?
What's going on, guys? Weapons Grade back at it again. Halo Talk, episode 6.
Exciting.
Rony, we
Exciting
got a lot to
stuff.
talk about today, don't we, man?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We just got off like a 3 hour play session together. We had some great fun. And there's some things we'll talk about that we
I
got
had a
up to.
blast.
Yeah, I had a
I was,
blast, man, as
I
well.
was, I'm excited, man.
Yeah.
Excited.
Halo's feeling
Um,
a little bit more positive. I think I can speak for both of us when I say we're both growing as creators and just trying to look for the positives really in Halo. Seeing as this pandemic has gone on for a long time, it's not
yeah,
good to be in a very negative mindset regarding Halo.
one of the things I always said, Rony, right now there really isn't much to play, like, at least in the first-person shooter department.
Mm,
Everything, there's no new games. Cyberpunk was kind of a dud. Um, so I wanted a game to play, and I'm just like, I have Halo to play.
mm.
Why don't I play that? And I went back, and between like the crossplay and the community, it's kind of growing,
It
I would
is.
say.
It is
And
not as much as I'd like it to be, but it is growing, which is
right,
I think it was a 2% increase in player base. Now, some may say that that's not a lot, but look, for me, I
in
can
other
feel the
words,
difference.
it's no longer rock bottom anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
We're out
exactly.
of that rock bottom period. Actually, we made it out of that MCC drought. Like they're finally, they got the games on there, 1 through 4 now.
Hmm.
Mod support's coming. A bunch
Whenever
of things
that
are coming.
comes, a lot of players are
Custom
going to
game
rotate
browser and
to
yeah,
Halo. They have to.
they have to. But getting started, Rooney. Oh man.
Yeah, we had a few topics anyway that we had prepared for you guys for this talk. So, the first one that I really wanted to focus on was active versus concurrent players in MCC and Halo Infinite. So, in the past,
Yeah.
myself and Weapons Grade both did a video critiquing news that came out saying that Halo 5 had the most active player base of any Halo game since Halo 3, which was inflating figures. Active can mean you logged into the game to check out the monthly update or to buy a rec pack. So for us, it's something, and for me especially, it's something quite close to my heart that I want MCC and Halo itself, MCC and Infinite, to have more concurrent players than active players. To have it. Well, that would be nearly impossible. But to have a decent percentage of concurrent players returning to the game and sticking with the game and constantly playing the game, as opposed to just someone logging in for 2 hours and then not logging in again for about 3 months.
Yeah, there's certainly a difference between somebody, like you said, just logging in for 5 minutes just to check out an update over the weekend that dropped, like for, a rec pack or something, and
Yeah,
then them counting it and going, oh, okay, that counts as 3 million people because they just logged in for 10 minutes.
exactly.
Um, so, active players being that people were actually playing, like me and Roniboney, we just played a 3-hour session of MCC. They would see that probably as like us actually playing
Mm.
rather than just, we were actually actively playing the game. Um, Another thing too, Roni, MCC, the population actually, forgot to mention this earlier, is larger than Halo 5's on the Xbox version.
Wow,
So that's actually
I
not
would
really
believe that.
news, but some interesting fact I came across looking at the Xbox store because you know how it lists like the most popular games and
Yeah,
stuff. MCC has finally surpassed Halo 5 on the Xbox version, so that's without crossplay.
which
So
is
I think
fantastic.
that's
Yeah,
impressive. I think that's just from Game Pass. From Game Pass probably is a huge because what MCC is free,
yeah,
right?
yeah. It's
That
free on
that's
Game Pass.
literally
Yep.
how I'm playing it. Um,
What do you
Me
think
and
about
Roni.
Halo 5 coming to PC? Because there's been a lot of people I see it mostly on Twitter, saying that they'd love for Halo 5 to make it over to PC. A lot of the, I guess, the more 343 era Halo fans really enjoy Halo 4 on PC. It's not for me. I played a lot of Halo 4 back in the day and decided that it wasn't a Halo game that I wanted to consistently play. But look, for the people that do want to play Halo 4, and I think that Halo 5, in my opinion, I think they should put Halo 5 onto PC for the people that want to play it. What's the harm?
yeah. So you're saying you don't mind if they put it in,
No, I
right?
wouldn't. I wouldn't mind.
Yeah. Um, like in the MCC.
Not into the MCC. I think it should be its own title. I think they should separate it away from the MCC. Maybe have a launch functionality from MCC, but I think they should separate it from the MCC, but give people what they want, because it's the only Halo title at the moment now that is not on PC, and it makes sense for them to put it on there.
I could see it coming on in the future, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I think all Halo games, that's where they're going. You know what I mean? That sort of unifying console, PC platform. Xbox isn't really doing exclusives anymore. You know what I mean?
That's the best part of actually Xboxes with their new consoles and Game Pass especially. I think that's the best part of their new plan to try and take over this console generation. That they have Game Pass, which is amazing. I can't believe people are saying Game Pass is bad. It's fantastic.
Game Pass is amazing value. Yeah. Amazing value.
Yeah. And I'm sure some people will scrutinize it now in the comment section, but I think Game Pass is a win for gamers.
Yeah, just there's like a deal. I don't know if you guys did it yet. I don't know if it expired, but like you get that $1 3 months for free. That actually stacks on top of your Xbox Live Gold. So like if you already had a year going, it would add 3 months to a year. So you would get, Game Pass for that long for $1. So everybody was using that sort of. So I had Game Pass for I think about a year and a couple months.
I think games themselves are going to start moving on to those subscription-based models, and then the games themselves will have battle passes, that kind of thing, in order to incentivize spending, which I'm not going to spend a dime. But if that's what people want to do, I don't exactly agree with it entirely, but if it gives cheap games to people that may not be able to afford several $60 games per year, that's fine. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
I know that might be a hot take. I see that word floating around Twitter a lot. Hot take. But that's my hot take on Games Pass.
Yeah. Roni, I wanted to also bring up and sort of shift the focus to MCC here. So we know, like a season 5, I believe, is coming out for MCC February or whatever, and I guess there's a lot of controversy. They're adding armor, 343 armor, I should say, in the Halo 3. A lot of people are a little upset about that. What are your feelings sort of on that?
So
I know they're adding like a toggleable button, sort of, that you can,
So I played a lot of Halo Online. They're Halo Online armors. My most viewed video for Halo is Halo Online gameplay. I love Halo Online. I think it was a fantastic version of Halo 3. I think it's probably the best Halo game that has technically not released, but has been available for players over the last 10 years. I have no problem if someone wants to have some crazy armor, but I also see why people would want that as a toggleable function. They want to see Halo 3 historically as Halo 3 released, and that's fine, that's fair enough, and I'm glad that 343 did that. But I think there's a lot of people that are nitpicking at the moment. Apparently the Under Armour suit is not changing, and people are saying, the Under Armour's not changing, so that's terrible, it's awful. I don't give a shit. I don't know how you even see that Under Armour when you're playing the game. I'm not looking at Under Armour when I'm playing the game. I'm just looking at what the other guy's doing to see if I can kill him before he kills me. So I think it's a moot point. I think it's a non-issue. And I think we actually need to move towards legitimate issues that we still have in MCC and that are probably going to help dictate the development and the reception of Halo Infinite.
And my take on it, at first I was kind of alarmed too. I can kind of get the reaction. I was like, what? Like, what are they doing? Are we going to see microtransactions and a bunch of other crap and all this nasty armor that'll kind of taint Halo 3? We don't want that 343 stuff on there. Are they really going in that direction? I thought, and then I'm like, you know what? I played a match of Halo 3 ODST, like that recon SWAT mode, and you have like the Halo 3 ODST pistol, and then I realized I was like, this is adding content to Halo 3 is cool. Now, granted, it is 343 armor. It doesn't look as cool, but again, it is toggleable, so they kind of, did that for you guys. So I think it kind of worked itself out in a way. You know what I mean?
Well, the community actually was listened to this time. So I think if we can build on this, and if the community can take a step back and decide that people brought up legitimate points, and I think it was across the entire community. You saw a lot of the larger Halo YouTubers also say that this does not fit the art style. And a point that we've made historically has been that larger YouTubers in this community can actually be a platform for change, and that proved it with these armors. So I'd like to say well done to those YouTubers for having the community's real desires at the forefront, because it made a difference. It did make a difference. So I think yourself and myself are nearly at this point outcasts, but I'm trying to work my way. I think we're trying to work our way back in, being a lot more rational, a lot more fair. But for these larger Halo YouTubers, I'd just like to say to you guys, if any of you guys are watching, you made a difference. You can make a difference. And being honest and listening to the community and seeing the points from all aspects of the community, from the side that just likes classic to the side that just loves 343 stuff, I think you guys really have the means to make change. And again, I'm just repeating myself, but thank you for some of those YouTubers for doing their part in helping alleviate this issue.
Certainly. I just wanted to say, just like a little touch up on that, Ronnie. I also tried out some of the new skins on MCC. So I guess you can put on the gold sniper now. You can put on the gold warhog and all that stuff. And I just wanted to say that I actually approve of that kind of innovation and change in Halo 3, and that I see it similar as to just a big mod/sandbox similar to Skyrim. Halo 3 is just, you know what I mean?
That's what's going to happen when mod support is released. If people are complaining about Halo Online armors, well, when I played Halo Online, I customized all my weapons and what they looked like. So I had, it played like Halo 3, Halo Online, but I had the Reach Sniper, I had the Reach Shotgun, I had the CE pistol as the base pistol for Halo 3. So you were able to customize it however you wanted to, and it made the game seem fresher again. And that's what people need to look at. It's a cosmetic way of making the game seem fresher.
And it works, I think. It works. When you put on that gold skin for that sniper, it looks pretty badass.
Yeah, it looks good. Yeah.
And I'm kind of eager to get some battle rifle skins. I don't know how, but I'm going that extra step to look up how to do that, because there's actually some sort of incentive to progress. I know they're adding, I guess, if you reach a certain rank in ranked games, level 20 or 15 or something, you unlock certain armor or chest pieces.
Yeah.
That's certainly a good step in the right direction of getting players, rewarded for doing things.
Yeah, no, I agree. I also think they need to have another method as well of unlocking those skins. A lot of people are saying, well, look, just get good, get to level 25 or level 20, whatever it is in ranked. For you guys, I have a full-time job. I work 10 to 12 hours a day. I don't have time to come home and sweat my ass off playing ranked. So if there was a method of unlocking that without the rank, say it's double the amount of points on their season pass system, I would prefer having different ways of unlocking those skins. Because I can understand people's points saying, look, I don't care about ranked, or I don't have enough time to play ranked. I still want this skin. I get it. Exclusivity is something that's cool. Someone's saying, look, I got to level 25, look how cool I am. Or I got to level 50. There should definitely be incentives for getting to level 50. But for just the average Joe who wants to experience your game, I think, there should be a different method. Should be two methods of achieving them. It's fair.
I agree. And that would actually be sort of staying true to Halo 3's way of progression. You know what I mean? How Halo 3 had, they had the skulls, they had the...
Yeah.
They had the ranks, kind of I think you reach level sergeant something, master sergeant, you got the rogue helmet.
Yeah,
and
gunnery
then,
sergeant,
they also had the social XP later on. So they really,
They brought in a lot of systems. Halo 3, in my mind anyway, had the best social progression system that was also simultaneously tied to your rank. So when I was a Brigadier grade 3, I couldn't wait. I had to start a new account so that I could finally get a general, and then I would have, if I had spent enough time on that account, which is my current account that I use, I would have gotten that to general, but I was just so burnt out. But still, look, they had a system. If I wanted to keep progressing, I could have achieved higher ranks, etc. It gave me incentive to play. So I think just 343 needs to do that. And on that, I think it kind of bridges us into our second topic, which is rotational playlists that should be permanent in MCC at the moment and Halo Infinite. There's a distinct lack of Halo playlists in MCC. It's very vanilla. There's snipers, there's doubles, there's free for all, there's these big team battle, invasion, that kind of thing. But there's nothing that really, kind of grabs your eye. Where's multi-team? That's my favorite playlist. Where is multi-team? It's a great way of playing. Look, if there's 8 people,
it's my top 3.
Yeah, exactly. Or even a larger multi-team, like big team, multi-team. That could be amazing. Imagine that, 8 teams of 2. They could totally do something like that. It would be amazing. The amount of people that would come back to the game. I think MCC we have the Forge from 4 Halo games. This can absolutely be done with new maps. They need to use the resources that are already built in the game to improve the game and to create fresh content.
Yeah. I know that one example of that they recently did, and it's not really anything significant, but I guess they had added like 4 Forge maps recently and they wanted like the community to review it. That's sort of the direction me and Roni are talking about when we say that Halo has essentially an infinite amount of possibilities and content in it because of Forge. Like he said, you can build any game type, anything. I was just talking to Roni earlier. We were playing Invasion on Reach. You can literally, if you wanted to, if 343 wanted to, they can build an Invasion game mode for Halo 3 and just, for the elites, just buff up their settings or give them extra speed boost or whatever it may be. You can have Halo 3 Invasion. Like, you can make it experimental. You can take it to that next level. And I really hope that they start thinking outside the box. Like, we have all these tools here that we can use in Halo. It's here. The foundation is here. The gameplay is already good. Let's use it.
Like you mentioned, Recon Slayer. That's a complete example of what you were saying.
Recon Slayer, perfect example. That's actually a great example of new content being introduced into the legacy Halo title because they just added out of the blue ODST guns. You got the the suppressed SMG and that pistol. They're so fun to use in multiplayer. I was having a blast. So yeah, it's.
I mean, we've played these games for a long time. For 13 years, I've been playing Halo 3. It is nice to see just a tweak, just a small difference. Just a small difference. And anyone who says that it's bad and that it ruins the game's legacy look, you're I don't agree. I just don't agree. I think people are just trying to find things to nitpick at the moment.
Yeah.
There's such little. And look, myself and Weapons Grade have been there. We've been harsh critics, but there comes a point where you just have to say this is good. Just try this out, because if you're asking Halo to innovate for Halo Infinite, but then you're so against Halo 3, Reach, 2, CE, 4 even innovating. Like, I don't understand. I really don't understand it. Like, imagine some of the Halo 4 maps. Once mod support comes in, imagine playing Halo 3 on some of the Halo 4 maps. It might actually make some of them quite good.
Right. Imagine making a game mode where scarabs are attacking you, or you can play multiplayer with a scarab. You know what I mean?
It could be cool, yeah. Instead of the elephant, 2 scarabs coming at each other. That could be.
Mod tools open the box up. You know what I mean? They change things. Like, you can have interesting possibilities, and you can probably put AI in there somehow. And
I'm sure someone smarter than us that knows everything about coding. Also, once they put that up there, once they give us the mod tools, people will end up fixing gaping holes in the code for you, 343. That's what happened with Battlefield 4. The fans went in and helped DICE to fix the code as quickly as they could because they loved the game. They loved what was there. They just needed the tweaks to make sure it was balanced, to make sure the netcode was obviously not dropping. This is something that's totally at your. It's in your fingers. It's in your hands. Yeah. Excuse me. It's in your hands right now, 343. You just need to pull the trigger on it. And I think that they do deserve some criticism for saying, well, MCC is coming to PC. It's going to have mod tools. They need to start announcing these things and hyping these things up, these features that don't make their way into the game for 2-3 years. They need to start hyping them up right before they actually come into the game. Because you're going to start pissing people off. That's the only way I can say it. You're going to piss people off by not having these things come into the game within a year or so of launch. It's like Forge for Halo 5. It came in far too late to the game. It didn't launch with it. They need to start being a bit more honest and pulling back on announcing features if they can't deliver upon them, because they're just going to shoot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, I agree. Even when they were adding the collection to the PC, I often wondered, I'm like, how many guys are behind this whole project, and is this going to impact Infinite? And then the pandemic happened, and then what do you know? Yeah. I'm just like, wow. So, and now they're, I guess, delaying, I guess the custom games browser, from what I've kind of read on the blog post, is it's going to release like at the end of 2021 now, instead of, in the middle or beginning, like they were kind of reaching for or hinting at. So that is kind of disappointing.
It is because Infinite will be out. So
yeah,
are people going to forget about MCC? That's my.
Well, it makes you
fear.
wonder again. You're like, well, okay, they're really juggling all these projects again, But
yeah,
I heard they're on a hiring spree now, but I don't know. You know what I mean? It seems a little shaky to me. I really hope they get it under control. But
that's
I really
the main
do think
thing. They need to just keep delaying Infinite if they can't deliver upon the promise that they made. They need to take more time, because I think it was the CEO of Nintendo at some point that said, a game that launches broken will forever be known as that, but a game that's delayed and releases properly will at least be respected. He said something to the effect of that. I'm sure someone smarter than me that has more knowledge of the industry will be able to quote that directly in the comment section. But I believe that the CEO of Nintendo said something to that effect, that release your games functional. Make sure that you're respecting your community, because people are, now with Infinite, people are not going to be putting money down, which really brings a bit of fear into the mix, that they could go anywhere with this game. They could really do whatever they want to without any repercussions, because it's going to be a free-to-play multiplayer. But I think they really owe Halo fans at this point a decent title that's well supported, that has all the core features at launch, and I think MCC deserves that as well. For years we've been carrot and sticked with this custom browser, and it should just come out. Just release the custom browser and let the community build whatever game types, maps, etc. that they want. I'm telling you, Halo is it will revive itself. It's starting to revive itself currently.
It's already starting.
Yeah.
Like we were saying, MCC already has a higher population than Halo 5 on the Xbox alone, not even counting crossplay.
Yep.
Right? When you count crossplay, it's already bigger.
Yep.
And crossplay, it's awesome. That's how me and Roni, I'm playing on the Series X, Roni on his PC. Yep. We played today for like 3-4 hours, ranked Invasion, the whole 9 yards.
With our mics as well, with
in-game chat.
Yeah, you should cover this. I think this is something that you're passionate about.
So this is pretty cool. Well, kind of. Recently, I was just reading about sort of proximity chat, and I was thinking, why did that sort of get axed in the making of MCC? Back in the day, Halo 3, Halo 2, even I think some of Reach had proximity chat, where you can, sneak by and real quiet, and then, if somebody's next to you, they can hear your mic, and then they know you're there, and then they can kill you. Or death chat, where if you kill somebody, you can hear their voice or reaction for like 3 seconds, kind of like Call of Duty Warzone and Modern Warfare does.
It's cool.
Those were really cool quality of life features that I was kind of disappointed when I'm, going into the game chat settings in MCC. 343 seemed to be the opposite of that sort of social interaction. You know what I mean? Like, I guess they changed the default settings in MCC now to where, if you're fresh on MCC, new player, freshly installed, your game chat isn't set to be able to talk to players. You have to set it manually. It's like a hidden feature now. So I kind of found that. Did you have any? What do you think, Ronnie?
No, I absolutely back in the day loved having the, especially in social modes, having the push to talk.
Yeah.
I loved that. There's one moment that sticks out in my head where, the rock on Valhalla just below the Spartan laser, that big rock. Well, a guy was hiding below there. He was communicating with his team, telling them that myself and my friend were coming for him. All I heard was, "There's 2 guys by the," and then we hit him in the back. two guys by the holy shit. And it was that moment, I remember one of the first times that I properly burst out laughing playing Halo. And it's unforgettable in my mind. And even today, let's be truthful to the audience. We went in and we made it our mission to talk as much shit as we could, just to see what people would say, and we had a good time. We had a good laugh.
Blast.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
Blast.
It's like the old days. So I think people need to be less afraid of interacting with people online. Also, if people start talking shit to you on Halo, don't worry about it. They're just trying to have fun. They're just trying to grief you. This is exactly how it was back as far back as 2004 with Halo 2. This is exactly what the online climate was like. And it's something that I miss quite a lot, man, actually. It's on PC at the moment. I play games that require people to talk to each other, like these military sim games, because I miss that. It's so quiet online these days, and I miss that. And Halo was the first game where I really experienced a very active population of people that just wanted to chat to one another, or to talk smack, or just even have their mic on as they're talking to someone in the room and see if someone was going to mess with them, and then they talk shit back. It was such a cool environment to, I guess, grow up as a gamer, and it can come back again. But 343, I agree with you, Weapons Grade. They need to have
they're not making a right. Like, why would you make it harder to? It's like they're suppressing the communication function. You know what I mean?
I do.
It'd be like if I made a bunch of rules for people to go vote, like voter suppression. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just an example. You have to go out of your way to turn on this feature, and you can essentially, if you set it to all, like we did, you can talk to even the enemy team.
Oh, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
You can literally, in MCC, if you go in big team battle, you can talk to all 16 players. And one of the other days, some guy was doing it, and he was literally talking to me, calling me out, saying, "Oh, Weapons Grade, I see you camping back there," and he's sniping at me, and I'm like, "Oh, how is he talking to me?" And that's when I found out and did a little research that this is kind of in there. You know what I mean? It's already built in, so it's pretty cool.
This is so interesting.
We went through
for the future of Halo.
Yeah. Also, Rooney, I wanted to bridge off here. We were talking about Infinite on Xbox One before this discussion.
Yes, the Cyberpunk.
I know in the beginning, we mentioned Cyberpunk and how that whole thing. I guess the concern here, and what I've heard, I guess, is that Infinite, will not be launching on the Xbox One, or they're talking like, should it launch on the Xbox One, like the original? Will it hurt the game? Is it maybe the reason why it looks the way it does now, or back in? What do you think?
So, every new Xbox has had a new Halo game come out with it. So if you're looking at the first Xbox, the original Xbox, Halo CE and Halo 2. Halo 3 then came out on the Xbox 360. MCC we got on the Xbox One. I think, and obviously Halo 5. It makes sense to put it onto the next gen console. This is the new era of Halo. If you want 10 years of Halo, you're not going to do that with the equivalent of a GTX 660 video card in an Xbox One. You're not going to do it. And this is just straight facts here. This isn't trying to say people are going to be left behind, and they made promises and they're going to break this. I think they're going to break this promise. If you're following what's happened with Cyberpunk 2077, because the Polish government have invested in Cyberpunk, if they don't deliver upon their patches before DLC, I think they're going to be fined 10% of their taxable income for 2020.
Yep.
That's a shitload of money. So Microsoft has in the past gotten away with releasing broken products. You can't do it this time because you are going to lose your player base. You're going to lose your player base if you do that with Infinite. I personally, and this is coming from someone who's spent a lot of money on a rig, and I'm trying to understand the other perspective. I understand why someone would want Halo Infinite to release on the Xbox One. They don't want to be left behind. They don't want to upgrade their hardware, etc. But on the other hand, if you do upgrade if you just make that decision to upgrade your hardware, and if they make the decision to say, look, this can only run on upgraded hardware, it will be better off in the long term. You don't want anything else that can be seen as a red mark against Halo happening. We just don't want that happening. There's been too many falls, and it looks like now, listen to the two of us, we're more positive than we've ever been in these talks about the direction of Halo. I don't want to see anything bring it back down again, and I think releasing it on the previous gen would be a gross miscalculation.
Yeah, I certainly agree, and I think Cyberpunk shows us clearly. You know what I mean? Just the mass toll. Think about it, of working on how many consoles at one time? What, 4, 5?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, for them, it'd be one less for because you're not working on PlayStation. But you get my point. You know what I mean? Yeah, the original Xbox consoles, you're adding the One X and the One. Sure, they can scale just like PC, but you gotta build for that console in mind.
I agree.
What is that gonna limit in terms of not only player spaces, how many people can be in the lobby, load times? We're talking potentially game changing mechanics.
Yes, it is game changing. It really is. It's if you look at the CPUs,
particle effects to explosions to everything from the graphics and to
parts of the map, to assets on the map rendering in, at high frame rates. So when you saw the Infinite reveal, it was obvious. It was very obvious that half the map was unable to load in at the same rate that whatever someone was looking at, I guess the 20 meters in front of their face. Everything else outside of it was like phasing in and out, and you don't want to see that. And that's what happens when you have older hardware. There's a game on PC called Squad, and that happened to me with my previous rig. I was getting 45 frames, and half the map was barely loading in because there was so much to render in. And I don't want to see that happen with Infinite. That's why I upgraded my hardware so I'd have a better experience. It's just the way it is, guys. Like, hardware jumps so quickly. The 3 series of cards are all sold out at the moment on PC, but the 4 series is rumored to release in 2 years. This is how fast gaming is evolving. So you need to, I believe that they need to make a decision. To say, they have to just make a hard decision to say, we made a promise, we're breaking the promise. Maybe provide some kind of incentive to people to sell their consoles. Maybe if you go in and you sell your console at a Microsoft store, you get a discounted, you get a higher discounted price off an Xbox One, whatever the new ones are called, the Series X. Or I'm really not following for these consoles because I'm so far away from that now that I have the PC. But I think you should either build a PC or you should get one of these better Xboxes if you're going to stick with Halo. You'll have a better experience guaranteed.
I definitely went for because I don't have a gaming PC as of right now, but I invested in the Series X, and I love it so far.
Good.
It's pretty powerful. The only thing is there's not a lot of games right now.
And there you go.
That's probably why I'm playing Halo, huh?
That's it. But it's in your blood. It's in both of our bones.
Yeah. There's a song by Kid Cudi that just came out called "Another Day," and the chorus goes, "Thank God, it's all another day." And what he means is, I'm still the same person. Because he made his last album he made was like 13 years ago. He's like, I'm still the same person. It's just another day.
Yeah.
13 years later, you know what I mean? I took a break from Halo. It's just another day.
That's it. I've taken long breaks, 6, 7, 8 months, and it always pulls me back in somehow. So it's just like you said, it's about making the next Halo the best it can be on the best hardware that it can run on. So I think that's extremely, extremely important that they don't fall into this cyberpunk syndrome. Also, the art. Like, I know you were mentioning this to me beforehand, that the art of 4, 5, and Infinite, if you look at that photo that you sent me on Twitter.
This needs to be talked about because I'm kind of perplexed here. I don't know if I have the same set of eyeballs that everybody else does on the internet, because when I see this image of that Spartan semi-sprinting wearing the Halo Reach armor, that image. I'll probably put it up in the video or whatever.
Yeah.
But it literally, the art style looks just like Halo 5. And I'm kind of confused because, well, at least the map, like it looks like, I can't even remember, it's so forgettable. That one map in Halo 5, Riptide or whatever, it looked just like that. And I was kind of like disappointed because I'm like, isn't this supposed to be a showcase of huge, bombastic, explosive features? And like, isn't Halo's your biggest IP? Why are we not innovating and moving in the right? Why are we just going off of Halo 5? It looked literally. Did you see Halo 5 in there? Like
it looked like Halo 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people on Twitter, especially, are linking those images alongside some of the images of Fohammer, that guy, or not Fohammer, Brohammer, they're calling him, and saying, look how beautiful this game looks. And fair enough, they're allowed to have their opinion, but there's really nothing that separates it, like you were saying, from Halo 5. Nothing yet, anyway. We haven't really seen anything that really hits you in the face and you'll say, wow.
Wow.
So, and they really need to do that. The next time that they release anything to do with Halo Infinite, this has to be monumental. This has to capture the audience's hearts.
I don't even know what I'm trying to say here.
That's okay. Well, but we can push on anyway to some topics that I wanted to talk about, which are kind of branch out from this whole Halo Infinite MCC topic. But it's just a general Halo topic about grenades. So we were discussing this at one time about grenades sound different across the different titles. And then at the same time as we were discussing this, the community on Twitter were discussing, should you start with one grenade or two grenades? And also, which type of grenade should you start with? You know, they're vastly different between each title. Halo 2, CE, they're like fucking nukes. Halo 3, they're far less explosive. Reach, they're far more explosive because, you know, you have to break shields and whittle someone's health down, their health bars down. So what do you think on that? Should there be one or two? Which type?
Yeah. So first of all, I think my favorite grenade personally it's definitely Halo 3, hands down. Reach is good too. 2s are fun, but a little bit too much. But 3s is definitely my favorite. Being that I think it's the most balanced. You know, 2 is I think the perfect caliber of grenade. And also it was cool that you could carry 2 of 6, right? So you had like the fire grenade, spike grenade. Which again was really cool. I don't know why they would degress in that area and make less grenades. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I think they've balanced them differently depending on the mechanics in each game. So you're looking at Halo 2. Everyone had a hit scan BR compared to the projectile in Halo 3. So obviously the grenade had to be a little bit less powerful.
With Halo 3, the grenades, I think it's the way you throw them too. It's like I want to say more floaty. You know what I mean? Whereas in, like, for instance, Halo 5, maybe it feels like you're throwing a rock.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah, there's some weight to the grenades in Halo 3.
Even the way it sounds, the way it clanks off the wall, it goes like, and it just.
I think that's a symptom of Halo 5 being just so fucking fast. Like, it's just so fast. And it really is a Twitch. It's verging on a Twitch shooter. It's an arena/Twitch shooter at the same time. It kind of marries those two styles. And like I've been very vocal, and so have you, that I'm not a fan of Halo 5. I don't like it. I think it deviates away from what made Halo great with all these abilities. But the grenades definitely suffered as a result. That you could just thrust out of the way of the grenade, no problem. You know, really no problem. You could clamber out of the way, etc. Whereas in Halo 3 especially, when you threw that grenade and you knew you had someone pinned, even just like some shards from the grenade could severely like just strip your shield. Reach was so different. I think the grenades were so powerful in Reach because you have more vehicles, you have all these different armor abilities, especially armor lock, the shield. That there were so many different ways to kind of BS on someone with the different abilities that you needed something powerful in your starting roster, I guess, to make sure that you could deal with something in your own way.
Yeah, one of my favorite things. Oh crap!
You drop your mic.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. All right, I was gonna say one of my favorite things about the grenades in Halo 3, especially, is how bouncy they are on walls.
Mm.
Um, so for some reason, Halo 5, when I feel like I throw the grenade at the wall, from what I remember, it wouldn't clank or wouldn't go where I wanted it to go. Like
Mm.
if you throw a grenade at Halo 3 at the wall, it'll go behind you, behind your shoulder if a guy's pushing you. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
You
There's
can
a fair
you
bit of
can
bounce
use it,
on them as well.
and because there's no sprint, you can play cat and mouse almost, like bring around the rosy and use the grenades as like a. It really shows how like the slower gameplay really helps with the grenade balance.
It does.
I
Yeah.
think it mixes really well.
You put a lot of
It's almost
thought
like a game of
into how you
chess
throw
rather
it.
than. So yeah, it's more your positioning is more is more important because you can't just sprint away, or like you said, thrust away from a grenade or
Yeah, well, a grenade buys
whatever.
you 1 second, 1 or 2
Right.
seconds of time to get the hell away from whatever's happening to you. And I agree with that Halo 5 has different balance. It's like shoot, clamber, jump, use your little jetpack thing to get to a power weapon. Throw 2 grenades, like grenade. Then it's way too fast. Whereas in Halo 3, it'd be okay. Watch this area. Watch this area. Watch this area. There's a guy here. He shot me twice. Okay, back down. Wait to see if his grenade lands in. Okay, his grenade didn't land in. He's going around this corner. Oh no, there's someone behind me. Throw a grenade at the wall. Maybe spin around and try and clean up the kill if they've run into the grenade, or just see, okay, my grenade deterred them from following me. I have an extra second to escape, get my shield, fight for a power weapon, reposition. You're right. There's a lot more thought that goes into it. It's a lot more like what Halo is based on, really. Its
Right.
gameplay loop of being quite like chess, which is why its ranking systems are very like chess. The elo system is seen in chess. I completely agree with that.
Yeah, that was very well said, Ronnie. Very well said. I completely agree.
It's like
I never
putting
knew.
your
I never
mind
knew about
against
the
someone
chess
else.
there.
It is, yeah. The
I
elo
never knew about
systems
the-
are based on chess systems.
I didn't
so
know
like
that.
like the 1,500 point kind of system, that if you were to win against someone that has 1,700 elo, then it treats it like an upset win, and then you have more points given to you, and then they have more points taken away from them. Years and years ago, I think in 2014/15, I did a video on the differences between the true skill system and the elo system, seen in Halo 2, MCC, and Halo 5. Halo 5 is so Joshua Menke, who developed the StarCraft 2 system, was a lot of people know him as the guy that developed the matchmaking systems, the rank systems in Halo 5 and MCC. So he bases his divisions off chess elo systems, which it's kind of a standardized ranking system in games. Whereas Halo 3 had a totally different one. It was just a predictor of, are you going to win? If you won the game, it was then one win goes towards your rank, and you need a certain amount of wins to hit the next level. That's how it was done. That's why people could D rank in Halo 3, because they could D rank so much and have so many losses against them that if you were to win, if you were to play with someone who was a D ranker, you had a much higher chance of ranking up, because their predictor was set so low that you had so many points allotted towards you once you won. So that's why some people could get 50s in like 25 games back in the day.
Yeah, I back in the day, I don't even think I got to 50.
I did.
I got to like 40.
I got there once. And then I never played doubles again. It was, yeah.
Oh, you got it in doubles?
I got it in doubles first, and then I got up to 48 in Slayer. But I was playing 50 high the entire time. It was really fun.
Wow.
Got a 45 in team objective. I was pretty happy with that.
Wow. Yeah, I think my highest was in doubles, and then lone wolves. Lone wolves, I had like a 40 or something.
I had a 45 I think if you got a 45 in Lone Wolves, you can handle yourself in Halo. But my girlfriend will tell you that when I was younger, she's been with me for a long time, that man, I people used to slag me. I used to not go out drinking with friends because I'd stay inside and play Halo on a Friday and try and get my rank up. It was so addictive, so addictive.
Since you were on the topic, Ronnie, of skill-based matchmaking, I thought this was a little interesting, and I think we can leave it off at this last topic. And
Yeah.
yeah, skill-based matchmaking. I guess there's a big critique lately in the Halo community. MCC skill-based matchmaking. Well, I guess recently in the last update they added skill-based matchmaking to social. So kind of to get rid of the pub stomping going on in the community right now. I guess if you get on MCC, play a game of Team Slayer on Big Team, there's about maybe a 30% chance, give or take, that you're gonna be pub stomped essentially.
Yeah.
Like earlier today we faced that one we still came back, but
Yeah.
we that guy had like 32 kills, and he was complaining about the skill-based matchmaking to us.
Yeah.
He was saying the MMR is so high and my teammates are so bad. And
Yeah.
it can ruin the experience, because if the games are just so one-sided, it's not fun getting shitted on over and over and over again.
So just for everyone to have some context, I'll include the gameplay of exactly what Weapons Grade is describing in my video. You'll see anyway. One of the first, we played a game of shoddy snipers on Citadel on Halo 3, and we won by, I think it was 2 kills, and it was just us 2 against 4 people. There was one player who was godlike. He was godlike. He had a 35 in Halo 3, which is very, very hard to get with the Halo 2 Elo system. Very hard to get. This guy would be a titan in a lobby, whereas his teammates all got 4 kills apiece, I think. So they were essentially just feeding our kills. This guy would turn corners and dome us. It was ridiculous. We barely won. Now, we communicated well, but we barely won. And it really does, I think it does say something about the matchmaking system, that I think there's not enough people playing. Back in the day, this would not have mattered. If there was 500,000 people playing, this guy would have been matched evenly against people that were at his skill level. If he went into social, he would have pub stomped the shit out of people. But I think it is, and a lot of people have discussed this with Joshua Menke on Twitter about the SBMM. And he's very, very honest about it. I have to give it to Josh that he really interacts well with the community. He's very respectful. He just seems very passionate about what he does, and he's very polite, and he explains things to people that are going insane at him, insulting him. I think part of his background is that he's had a lot of experience with this, with different games, with StarCraft especially. He would have been able to perfect this system, and that it really is just it's a player issue. Not enough people are playing to warrant how strict the system is.
Right.
You know, it's like Call of Duty. Like, there was this hilarious clip I saw of Call of Duty where this guy says, I'm ready for the next game, Call of Duty Matchmaker. How many kills did you get last game? 20 and 5. You went 20 and 5. Congratulations, you just went pro. It's that kind of system that it doesn't. At least it's not as bad as COD, but it can definitely be. Oh,
it's not. Yeah, it can definitely be improved. I certainly agree. You know, it's not the end of the world. It's definitely better, but it could be improved.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's going to be an important thing to improve as the game sort of slowly grows, because it would contribute to that growth in itself, right? You know, you don't want people leaving because they're getting crapped on over and over and over again.
And that is an issue.
Yeah, you go on the Waypoint forums, I guarantee you'll find at least 1 or 2 people complaining about the skill-based matchmaking or the quitters. And why do people quit?
Yeah, because they get destroyed.
Because they're not having fun. Because they're getting destroyed. We were about to quit earlier because 2 of our teammates quit, and we weren't having fun. I was like, Roni, let's step it up, man. And we won. We came back.
He said it. I said we should probably quit because there's no penalty now. But he said, no, let's step it up. And we ended up winning and communicating and kind of playing off each other. And people aren't going to do that, though, if they don't have the passion for Halo. If they're going in and they think to themselves, there's no way I'm going to start no-scoping people with a sniper. They're just not going to want to play the game again. So I think matchmaking needs to be fair.
Are at that stage of like, okay, how do these controls work? How do I throw grenades? And then they're getting crapped on by Twitch TV Master Chief.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 117 XXX Elite. Like it's
Arbiter Prophet 5.
Exactly. They're not going to enjoy it, which actually it can kind of herald back to our point about the custom games browser, that if there was just a customs games browser, they could jump into that like a really sweaty like sniper game. If they didn't like it, they could jump into something like Griffball, without
Yeah,
any kind of
the
penalty.
custom game browser will be revolutionary.
It will be
for
because
MCC.
it's about the penalization of people when they play in Halo. If they're not enjoying themselves, they leave a game. They can get banned for 10 minutes from playing. If they quit again, they get banned for a day. It's not good. It's not good, especially with the community being as hardcore as it is. I barely play ranked anymore because I just don't want to go in and get absolutely by myself. Searching by yourself sucks in Halo at the moment. It really does. I don't want to get slapped around. So custom games browser where I could go in, do a sniper BR, warm myself up, then go into ranked would be amazing. And if I wanted to leave and I wasn't enjoying myself and I came to the conclusion 20 minutes after booting up Halo that, I'm just not in the correct mindset today to play this game, I'm going to jump off. I would rather not get penalized and have a way of playing socially, like a true social experience that's not tied to, their quit or their ban system. I think that honestly, the custom games browser and mod tools are going to change everything once it comes out.
I truly do believe that, and I think too, just building on what we were talking about, like chat functionality and settings and prox chat and all that. Just imagine with custom game settings how that's going to sort of just launch a new era of social interaction within the Halo community.
Yeah, people will clan up again. People will 100% clan up again.
Build forge maps again. What's the point of building a forge map right now if you can't get 5 other people to get you to play with? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's actually going to be a reason to do things. Like,
but you can just test your maps out. Just throw it up on the server and wait until people start joining and say, hey man, can you help me test this map? It'll provide people new friends. I met some great I went to one of my friend's weddings that I met playing Halo. He lived in Oregon, I'm from Ireland. So there's that social element that I have not found with any other game. I've started finding it now again with PC games, with all these military sim shooters, because it has the same type of mindset. It has the same type of people that just want to have fun and get along with people and talk and communicate and have fun, but also take the game seriously and play. Yeah, I know we're kind of going on a tangent, but yeah, it's custom games browser, more communication with push to talk, more options, less penalties for quitting. Just implementing different mods to try different game types out that could be absolute. You could strike gold. You could strike gold with a playlist or a map.
It's so close. It can happen. I know. I can see it. You know what I mean? It's within the realm of realism. Let's say that.
Yeah.
Right. It's doable. 343. If they really push it out, innovate, push some. And we're not talking about crazy features. Like, we're talking about a custom game browser.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We're not talking about. And they've been talking about this for a long time. But if they get on the ball here and implement this, I think that'd be revolutionary for the MCC.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Start bringing
but
players
I
back
guess
in.
there's going to be.
That's it.
I guess there's going to be like a drought. They're not expecting like end of 2021 for the custom game browser. So we've been waiting for a long time, but I guess we'll see. We have the season 5 and all the other crap.
I think it'll be worth it eventually. And something that I want to touch on before we sign off here is that for the longest time, I can fairly say that at least for myself, and I won't speak for you on this, is that I was critical and I was nearly defeated that nothing was going to change, and things have started gradually changing, and it's not. I'm not about to say thank you for everything, 343, but they're on the right track, and kudos has to be given where kudos is due, and it is. It's Halo is on the right track. And as long as we all stay honest, stay realistic, and if we don't nitpick tiny little things and focus on the core issues, then we have the right to start bitching about the small little things. But right now, if we focus ourselves on the topics really that we were talking about, I think are some of the most important for MCC going forward. These are the topics that actually matter. And I think if everyone keeps themselves focused on that, then Halo will not might, it will keep getting better and better.
Yeah, that was a good way to close up, I think, Rooney. I just wanted to finish off with it was a pleasure.
As
Um,
always, yeah.
I had
Me
fun.
too.
I think this was a really good talk.
Yeah.
We how long do you think we got? Oh,
We're about I think we're about 50-ish minutes. So we've
nice.
spoken a lot about some of the topics, guys, and yeah, like just keep tuned to both of our channels because we've been doing a lot more playing together in
Yeah,
Halo itself, and we're having a blast. Like
right.
we have very
I wanna
similar gameplay styles, and it's
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. I want to say, just go for it. Go ahead, get on and your PC, your Xbox, hit up your friends and try a ranked game setting out or try, some social slayer settings. There's some pretty good things on there right now. I know Shoddy Snipers is on, and that's pretty fun. Me and Roni playing some of that earlier, so
Yeah.
give it a try. See if it's practically free on Game Pass.
Yeah. So jump in, and if you love this franchise like we do, then jump in, give some feedback, and the game will eventually get better. And we've been so patient, guys, and we're nearly there. We're nearly over the line. I really truly believe this. I never thought this day would come, but it is. I need to
Yeah.
eat my words and say that I never thought they'd fix it, but they are. They are,
Right.
and they're listening. They seem to be listening. So while they're listening, let's keep their attention centered on MCC, because once
Keep
Infinite comes in,
communicating.
yeah, exactly. Communicate. Be respectful, but if you need to be critical, I would advise you to be critical, but don't do it in a hateful, non-productive way. Always have
Right.
productivity, and don't be sarcastic, but always have
Always have substance.
exactly.
Substance too.
Exactly.
It's just something real to complain about. Something,
Yeah.
you know.
We're all angry because of this pandemic. We're all stuck in the house. And tensions can get higher, and your emotions on something could spiral at infinitely. Like you could start exactly what I said there, spiraling on and on and on, and finding more things that you don't like. But look, just try and bring yourself back to base and say, this is what the reality is, this is where we're going, and things seem to be getting better. So let's just, knock wood. Let's hope that it continues that way. Right. Before we
All
start
right.
ranting more.
Yeah. Good talking to you, Ronnie. I'll catch you later.
You too, man.
All right. Peace.
See ya.